Hey, it's Skylar, and welcome to my channel. Skylar loves gory movies, and today is day 18 of 31 days of favourite movies challenge. Yes, I'm finally caught up, and today I've got a good one for you, a really good one, something unexpected that I saw. Well, I'll explain the story behind it, right? Before I get into it, right? I originally was going to do this as a live broadcast and commentary, but had to go somewhere with Peter. So, if you guys have seen me live broadcasting video, then you do know what I'm about to review, and I've promised you guys I'm going to review it. And it went straight up there as one of my favourite movies. Of course, I'm talking about 2015. Yes, we're gone from the 70s and 80s and the 90s right up to 2015 now for this one. It is the American Guinea Pig series, because they're going to be releasing the second one. Well, they're going to be filming it soon and then releasing it. So it's the American Guinea Pig Bouquet of Guts and Gore from 2015. It's directed by Stephen Biro, written by Stephen Biro, produced by On-Air Films and Stephen Biro. Special effects by Odd Tops SYFX. Special effects supervisor Marcus Koch. Director of photography James Van Bieber. Additional camera David Hood. Starring Ate the Chosen One as the actor, Scott Gabay as the director, James Van Bieber as the editor, Rogan Russell Marshall as second unit, Caitlin Daly as Amy, Ashley Lynn Caputo as Erica, Kirst McKay as the driver, Match Channel as VHS, Lucio Giovanelli as the son, and Lily Dickinson as the daughter. Right. Movie starts off with a do not open gate sign. Then a car is driving and sees two ladies walking along the road. Follows the girls as the girls walk and talk, then stop at a car and get into a car, and the car goes in smoke. Then a guy gets out and drives the car and has a gas mask on and drives off. Then the next thing, the girls are unconscious, surrounded by lots of tools, and three men get aprons on. Three men get aprons on. Then one man crouches down and stares at the one that's directing the film. Then another guy films the girls. Another guy with a mask on strips down and starts to say, "You start on the left and never on the right," and starts to cut her shirt open, and then does her jeans with the shears and shouts, "Always on the left and not on the right, and do it nice and slow to make me hard," and shouts it again, then says, "Good, good," and then shouts it and says, "Slower," and cuts her jeans off and puts them away from her body, pulls them away from her body, then cuts the rest of her top off and gets told to leave her underwear on, and gets told for the other girl to start cutting her jeans off, and tells him, "Never start on the right, always start on the left," and cuts the jeans off slow and says he's getting hard and he's dripping now, then cuts the right side of her jeans now and takes them from her body, and then starts cutting her top away from her body also, and then goes on top of the first girl and puts her hand over her mouth and injects her with a red solution and says, "Give her some special medicine," and gives her a lot of it, and starts to film the second girl and gets her necklace in focus as well, and then does the same thing to her as well, but she screams and injects injects her in the neck, and then the guy says, "She won't give us any more trouble. Give her the special medicine." And then the guys are talking to each other, and then they talk to the girls and tells them that they're getting tortured to death while being filmed for benefactors, and goes to the girl with the cross and tells her that she's lost, as she's God's child, and will give back her necklace later. Then puts the necklace in his pocket, and goes and gets his tools and puts pins and needles in the girl's foot, several in fact, and then the same into her other foot, and then gets a saw and slaps it on her stomach, goes back and gets something else, ties it to her arm, and then talks to the girl, and then slices her wrists open slowly and cuts open her wrist and decapitates her hand from her arm and puts it on the other girl's chest, and then ties something to her thigh, and then goes and gets a saw and slowly cuts her foot off, and then takes the sock off, throws it on the floor, and the foot then goes. Then looks at her leg, and then cuts her bra off and shows her breasts, and then gets a sort of blade and then cuts off her lower leg slowly and decapitates her leg off. Then sees a leg bone, and then someone films her dead leg and then does the same thing by cutting her other leg off slowly. Then gets a saw, tries that but doesn't work, and then to cut all of her leg off slowly and decapitates her leg from her body and says, "I'm out." Then walks around and cuts her arm off and pulls her arm away from her body, and then looks over her lifeless body, then says, "He can't handle it," and then says that they have his kids, and depending on his performance he can see his kids again. Then goes to another body, slices her eye out, and then cuts her jaw, and then goes back to the other girl and cuts her jaw open, pulls it from her face, and then the camera looks at the torture they've already done. And then he cuts open her stomach, slicing and pulls all her insides out, and the camera zooms in on her breasts, and then he continues to pull and pull the insides out and shouts at the girl. Then they say, "They're gonna bleed this flower out," and they do it literally, and then they look over her lifeless body and touch her mouth and tongue with their fingers, and then slice her breast and touch her down below, then slices it even more, brings out her heart, put their fingers in her heart, and then eats her heart. Then they sniff some smelling salts, what looks like to be smelling salts. I don't know what it would be. Then the other guy says, "You're doing a good job." Then they both drink something, and then start to film the other girl, and she's sort of awake and starts to cry, and then zooms the camera on her, and then is told to go and get the razor, and does, and he slices where her elbow is, and it starts to drip blood, and does the same with the other arm, and then pulls her skin from her arm and does the same with her other arm. The other camera zooms in and on her again and waves her arms about and has blood on his hands, and then slices her leg with a razor blade around her thigh and then down her leg, and then they do the same with the other leg, take the skin away from her leg, first the left one and then the right one, throws her skin away like it's nothing, then cuts her bra off to reveal her breasts, touching them, and then slices her in between her breasts and pushes the skin apart and plays with it, and then gets a hammer and smashes her face in with it and breaks her teeth, jams a cigarette in her eye and rolls it around until it gets really deep and says, "Roll out," and says, "Rolling," then pulls at her inside flesh and tears it apart, pulls her rib bones apart with shears, hearing it crack one by one on both sides, then takes her ribs out from from her body and touches her heart, feels it with his hands and chops her head off from her body, leaving her heart still beating, and put her cross on the heart and watches her die. And then all the men clap and cheer for the girl, and starts the chainsaw up and cut into her heart. And then they're editing the film, and then looks at the camera, and they talk away, and the film is complete, and to make sure that they get it sent off tomorrow. Then the guy, yet given his baby back, puts her on the bed, and his son lies on the other bed, and the baby screams, looks at the baby and still screams, and basically it's like an open end and doesn't know what's going to happen next. So that's basically the end of the film. Now, my thoughts on this. Here we go. I liked everything about that film. I absolutely loved it. Everyone knows I love torture and I love blood. The bloodier the film, the better. And this is no exception. The only thing that I was a bit worried about is the ending. I don't know what's going to happen at the end. Maybe it's going to be portrayed in the second part. I hope they do, because I can't wait to see it. I loved Eight the Chosen One in this. He played his character so well. And I liked how different it was. Saying at first he didn't want to do it, and then the guy told him that he had to do it or else he couldn't see his kids again. So he was made to torture and kill somebody in order to see his kids. I liked that different side of it. So, rating. Oh yeah, before I go for the rating, I liked it because it had that 80s vibe as well. And it also reminded me slightly of guinea pigs, flowers and flesh and blood. It reminded me of that slightly. So I just wanted to get that point across. Right, rating. I will give this movie a 8 out of 10. Only for the fact I think it's got an open ending and I want to find out what happens. So that's why it's getting that. So, of course, hope you enjoyed this review. Finally caught up, and I will speak to you all soon. Ta-ta for now. Bye.